I think the central issue of the campaign is jobs in the economy. I think there's no question about that as we look, and I talk to people all over the district on a regular basis. They're concerned about, how are we tackling the unemployment problem? How are we getting more people off the unemployment rolls and back to work? And I view the role that the federal government can play, and I would argue the state government as well, is to create an environment that enables 29 million small businesses in our country to have the confidence and certainty to invest in their business and grow by a single job.
So I agree. The core issue, and throughout this campaign, everywhere we've been, we've heard the same thing, is jobs in the economy. How do we get people back to work again, back to work in the types of jobs where they can't afford to put a roof over their head? This Congress has voted 300 times against the environment, 33 times against the Health Care Act, 7 times against women's right to choose, but we haven't gotten any realistic jobs bills out of the Congress to get people back to work. But we need to be investing in innovation here. We need to be investing in our infrastructure here. We need to be inventing things in this country, making them here, and shipping them to the rest of the world. I think it's fair to look at his voting record and the votes he's taken. Washington Post looked at the key votes in this Congress. On every one of the key votes where the Tea Party needed the vote, Mr. Dold hasn't voted differently than the Tea Party on their key issues, whether it was defunding Planned Parenthood, taking Medicare and turning it into a voucher system, even allowing drilling for oil in Lake Michigan. On all of those things, Mr. Dold has voted with the Tea Party agenda.
Can I respond?
Yes.
Well, first of all, it's just, frankly, it's outrageous. The 24 votes that the Washington Post highlighted, we've taken over 1,500 votes in the United States Congress. I'm proud of my record. Of those 24 votes, 20% of them pass with a Democratic majority voting with those. 10 of those 24 votes, Steny Hoyer voted for. What's interesting out of those 24 votes, not a single one was on women's health, not a single one was on gun control, not a single one was on education, not a single one was on transportation and infrastructure. All things that I would consider, or the environment, all things that I would consider key votes for the 10th district. What's interesting also as you look at the Tea Party, or as he likes to put it out there, that we voted with all this time, his analysis, I think, in some of his mailers talk about we voted with the Tea Party, and again, I don't know where he's talking about. He's talking about voting with the party. 82% of the time, the Washington Post did do an analysis. Here is in essence, the analysis from the Washington Post of every member in the United States Congress. You can keep moving that down. Here they all are, 435 of us down there on where the Republicans are voting with the party, where the Democrats are voting with the party. The ones that vote with the party the least are down here. This highlighted one is me. So to say that we're voting with the Tea Party is so disingenuous that it really doesn't even pass the laugh test. It's illegal, according to the 2005 Energy Act, to drill in Lake Michigan. That is already current standing law. To play the procedural game of saying voted for a motion to recommit is absolutely disingenuous and frankly is trying to mislead the voters, which I think is unacceptable. He talks about also defunding Planned Parenthood. You all know that I was the only Republican to speak out on the floor against defunding Planned Parenthood. C.C. Richards actually, after the vote on H.R. 1, sent us an email thanking us for our support. So I think it's not only disingenuous, it's really deceptive in trying to mislead, and it's unfortunate that we've got to resort to these types of things. Because I do believe that the way that we're going to move things forward is by working together.
Bob, you voted to increase insurance premiums or charge more for increase taxes on companies that provide health insurance to their women employees. That would include abortion. You voted for a bill last fall that's come to be known as the Let Women Die Act that would allow hospitals to deny life-saving abortions to women who show up at their hospital needing that to save their lives. That is a bill that the voters in this district called and asked you don't vote for that bill, and yet you still did.
There is no such bill. Secondly, I think it's offensive that you would take healthcare professionals that have taken an oath, a Hippocratic oath, that you would say that they would let people die. Frankly, that's just unacceptable. And frankly, I think that is offensive. Well, and I think many of the healthcare professionals out there would think it was offensive. And by the way, the language that you're talking about, is almost the identical language that the President signed in his executive order after signing the Affordable Care Act.